Hi. Oh, this is really bad lighting. This is my first live on YouTube, guys. Hi. Let's see, can we do better lighting? I feel we can do better. And you can probably get like a better view there. God, do I have a different camera or something? Better? That's better. Hi, guys. Hi, it's Anna Vaughn with Travel Mama Anna Vaughn. I love YouTube thing. So I've got some updates for everybody. Let's see if I can get like a some kind of situation going here. Hold on. Let me see what I can jimmy here. Hello. Were there people there? Hi, Megan. People are here. Oh, I'm totally into this. Hold on, I wanna. Sorry, guys. I'm not doing the best. I want you to be able to like see some stuff in the backyard. Oh, you can't even see. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Nope, it won't let me. Okay. Oh, hey, St. Louis. That old biddy. What a good name. Oh, people are disappearing. Oh, that's cool. I like this. Okay, well, hi, it's Anna Vaughn with Travel Mama Anna Vaughn, and I've actually been doing lives on Instagram for a little while. And oh, there's more people here. Hey, lady. Hey, Luna from Utah. Oh, you like the cheetah? Thanks, Sheila. My good friend Sam actually told me she used to be blonde and then she went brunette, and she told me that she doesn't feel she can wear leopard print now as a brunette. And I was like, really? I don't think I wear that much of it. And since she said it, I think I've worn it every goddamn day. Like I realized, you know what, blondes really do wear a lot of what my friend Rob calls the leps. Um, and thank you. I think it's a neutral. You know, there's gray, there's earth tones, there's black, there's white, and there's leps. They're all neutrals. Oh, Oaxaca. Hi, John. Oh, Sister Sherry. Hi. Oh gosh, there's all these great people that I only get to talk to in the comments. I liked this video already. Thank you. Thanks, Cynthia. Okay, what did I want to talk about? So I was doing lives. Oh, hold on, I'm getting questions. Would you consider providing a service where you broker real estate deals? Oh, cool. Hi, Irene. Oh, I went and didn't see it. Well, you should have messaged me. We're like really easy to contact, and also we love to go for coffee and beach and beers and stuff with fans. So if you do ever come through Puerto, you can totally get a hold of me. And if we can swing it and we're in town, Luna and I love to meet our fans. Like love, love, love to. So would love that. Um, Ooh, Kensington's so nice. Single mom love, about your question about brokering, I do provide a service where I make calls and hook people up. So essentially, you can book a call with me on Acuity. I think it'll have all that below. It's my first live, but it should have like my automatic, description uploads, and it gives you a link to the site, which is travelmamaanavon.com. And on there, you can book a 15 or 30-minute call with me. It's 49 bucks for 15 minutes and 99 bucks for 30. And in that call, what I can do is I can answer all your questions about moving here, what my experience was, and I can give you numbers for real estate agents and other people you might need based on what your needs are. And I recommend to most people that a 15-minute call is enough. Like, my sort of goal in the 15-minute calls is like to send you away with stuff, like not just to be like, oh, I'm going to talk to you about it. Like talking is fine, but like we can all Google search. I think that yeah, I will. The phone call link, it's really easy. travelmamaanavon.com. You can go there, you can sign up for the newsletter, and I give out PDFs there, and I am working on a free PDF about a guide to Puerto Escondido right now. It will be out by the end of the month, I promise. I know I've been saying that for 2 months, but January is the month. And that'll give you some hot tips and tricks and places that I like to go and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, do you still visit Guatemala? I haven't been in a long time. There's so many questions here. So I'm used to doing lives on Instagram where I don't get 2 bed and 2 bath for cheap. That's $1,000 a month. Cool. Hi, Lucy. Okay, awesome. I honestly could just sit here and like answer questions and read your shit all day. Yeah. Um, oh, Lucy again. Hi, Lucy. Did you just send me money? Is that what that is? That's cool. Did you do that? I didn't know you could even do that here. This is what a Luddite I am. So if you guys have, thank you, Lucy. Thank you. That will be going to Beers and Ceviche later with my daughter. No, I'll do something really cute with Luna with it for sure. And I'll send you a picture if I can. Oh, Guatemala misses me. I do want to go back to Guatemala. I do want to visit. You know, I don't know how much people on. See, the thing is like on Instagram and Facebook, well, more Instagram, like I've been more honest about what was going on sort of behind the scenes in Guatemala, whereas here I've just done the videos about like the positives. And, we moved out of Guatemala with a bodyguard. Like I had a security person I hired to be there with me for 4 days to stand outside my door and to run errands with me. So, like, the situation wasn't great. And it has nothing to do with Guatemala. I miss Guatemala lots. I have lots of Guatemalan friends. I actually, I think he was in a video here, my good friend Jeff, who's from the States, but his parents are Guatemalan. We became really good friends over this Guatemala connection. I miss Lucia fiercely. I mean, losing Lucia in our life, that was a big hole for us because Luna doesn't have a lot of family, she doesn't have brothers and sisters. She's not connected to my cousins in Canada because they've never been down here, we don't go up there often enough. I have a half sister, but we're not, in touch enough. My father is, was not a main player in my life growing up. And in my adult life, since having Luna, like he also doesn't come down here. He's older, we talk on the phone like once a week. And so my mom is really the only person that Luna has as family, and she adores my mother, and they have such a great relationship. Oh, people are, I just want to say you're so funny. Oh, thanks. Real motherhood. Yeah, multiple orgasms of motherhood. Maybe that's what I should call my podcast. Um, but thank you. Thanks so much for that compliment. But yeah, so Lucia was the connection to Guatemala. She doesn't have a paternal biological family because her biological father, at this point, like I believe that he believes he wants to be in her life. Like I don't think, oh, I don't have a podcast yet. More to come on that. I guess that's what we're going to talk about today. I don't think that he actually sets out to hurt us in any way or to be like a bad guy. I think he wants to have a relationship. I just don't think he wants to do any work to have it. He wants it to fall into his lap. And maybe that was his experience growing up, that things just came to him easily. I don't know. But he certainly feels challenged by a woman like me, which is fine. I mean, I'm just a woman that's not going to do any fucking work for a guy. Like, that's just who I am. And it hasn't always played to my benefit. Of course, I've had a lot of detriment in life, in work, in personal life. I grew up with a really strong single mom, and my mother exhibits a lot more what are called masculine traits, I don't, oh no, somebody's asking about I'm like first of all, I'm a goldfish. I just get like distracted, like squirrel, like so easy. Someone asked about, did I feel any of the earthquakes? We were gone all week in Guadalajara and Nayarit, so I didn't feel any of them, but I'm watching my Google alerts like a hawk. Anyway, growing up with a mother that was like more what you call masculine, I have very well developed masculine traits, which means that like in school or in work, like I believe that I am entitled to all the same things men get through hard work, perseverance, and smarts. And it's definitely been hard in life to have to constantly be shown over and over that women actually aren't entitled to those things, and that if you have any kind of good looks at all, you're going to have to also battle the fact that the majority of men will only ever see you as a fuck toy. So, oh my God, am I allowed to say that here? Oh my God, this is why I do the lives on Instagram, because I don't know if I can say F-U-C-K. Oh, thank you for saying you love my videos. Oh, there's so many nice people here from all over the world. Yeah, so I would say that like it's played to my benefit and my detriment throughout life. Like everybody's got their things, right? There are things that yeah, this is my first live, guys. So anyway, I wrote a song called Spring Chicken. I love that. I call Luna that all the time. I mean, I call her every kind of, I call her, you know, butternut chicken, like all kinds of little chicken things. Um, Luna's at school, by the way, for the people that are asking. She goes to school well, she goes to Crips Club now. That's what she calls it. It's Kids Club. Hi, Costa Rica. Um, but she calls it Crips Club because she can't say kids, which is really cute. Bonjour de Montréal. Um, and I think that's really cute. I always say, yeah, she's going there to learn to be a Crip. She obviously doesn't know what a Crip is, and neither does anyone down here, which is super funny, but she likes it. It's like, I guess it's like Montessori. It's like play-based learning. And I didn't put her in it because I think that like I need to like micromanage all of her schooling. Like I know there's lots of parents out there that feel that way, and that's totally fine. Like if that makes you feel good to like learn every bit of the syllabus and like to micromanage everything, fine. Like I go on feeling. Like if she hates it there, we go. She likes it there, we stay. I'm a single parent, so Luna is going to have to like school and babysitters and extracurricular activities because single parents rely on this heavily to get shit done. We don't have that other person. And, oh, thanks. Yeah, I know there's other women out there like me. Uh, we might be few and far between, but you definitely know when there's one in the room. I love when I meet other women like me. It's really easy to find us. We're the ones everyone's always calling crazy. Every time someone says, "Oh, she's so crazy," da 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 about a woman, I like my little thing goes off in my head, like mental note, meet her later. That's one of yours. um, yeah, being attractive as a woman is totally fine if you're dumb. Uh, Dumb hot women, man, they got the world in their palm. And I know a lot of dumb hot women that are wonderful fucking people. Like there's nothing wrong. Oh yeah, this one disappeared. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a dumb hot woman. That's for sure. I don't hate on those women at all. They definitely have had things in life that I'll never have. Um, and also, I sometimes am really envious of like more like kind of butchy, lesy type business women because they get to take like the sex out of it. They can interact with men more on an intellectual basis, which is really great because as long as they're like not fuckable, then they can be taken more seriously. And oh, thanks for saying I don't seem crazy. I don't mind when people call me crazy. People usually call women crazy or slutty when they don't have anything on them. So I always think of that like, oh, really? You can't get anything better on me than that? I do. I make a lot of mistakes. And yeah, crazy. I mean, name one prolific historical figure that wasn't called or didn't seem or wasn't crazy. Like, I feel like there's a real ilk there that I'd like to be a part of. But yeah, anyway, growing up with those things, I've never really, like, I don't do the work for men. And like I said, it can be in my detriment. It's definitely in relationships been hard and in team efforts been hard, mainly due to like paradigms. Like, I feel very, very feminine. I want to be taken care of like a woman. I like men who pick up the bill and take me dancing and get a haircut for a date and pick me up and drop me off at home and don't expect sex and can be a provider and like take on a family and stuff. But I think where the detriment comes in is that I also expect them to be able to lead me as in do better, and there's not a lot. Let's just put it that way. I think it's easier for a man to be all those things if the woman that he's protecting and leading and dancing and picking up the bill for has lower expectations. So we haven't gone back to Guatemala because I've been waiting a little bit for the dust to settle on that one and to see what kind of like happens with Luna's biological father. He doesn't call, he's never called Luna once in her life. He doesn't reach out, but I do reach out every now and then to see if he would still maybe want to know her. I feel like she'd like to know him, like at least know who he is and where she came from. And yeah, I feel like in time that will settle in some way. And of course we'll go back to Guatemala. Like losing Lucia was a huge blow to this family. Like how beautiful would it have been if I could have kept a more regular relationship with Lucia as well as my mother. Luna would have had such incredible, strong women in very different ways to protect and hold and support her and represent her cultures really well in two really incredible women. You know, Lucia is, I learned so much from her, and she is so different from my mother, but she's also very strong in a really different, like more feminine way, what is like considered feminine, like a more soft flow way. And I mean, they, to me, they were like the pillars. You know, oh, someone's saying men are terrified of strong women. Yeah, I mean, I'd be terrified too if the world was set up for me and then someone else that I consider weaker was always taking it. Like, give us two more generations and we'll run everything, right? So, there's something so sexy about a man who can hold space for strong women, you know, and I know a few men who can do it, and the way that they do it is by not being too masculine. It's quite incredible. Lucia is not Luna's paternal grandmother. Lucia is the woman that helped me when I was pregnant, and when I moved back to Guatemala, she lived with us and was our nanny and housekeeper. She was essentially like my hired wife. Like, I wouldn't have been able to take care of Luna because Luna was she was too small to go to daycare. She needed more regular access to me, but I still had to work and like put a roof over our head. And Lucia did all the things that like a traditional sort of wife does so that I could go out. But like, I mean, we ate our meals together and we were together a lot, and she taught me a lot about babies. She taught me a lot about kids. Luna and her had a very special relationship. Like, it was hard, you know, in a family with not very much family, living in a culture where family is God, it was hard to lose, you know, one family member because they all have so much importance. So I hope that we do get to reconnect with her soon. I've been thinking about going down there for Semana Santa, but it looks like we might actually go to Nicaragua instead. Um, Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry she's not with us, but like, I hope that the time that she was with us leaves like a mark on Luna for life. It definitely left one on me, you know? What do I think about digital nomads? I mean, I'm a digital nomad. I hate the term digital nomad. You know, like, I'm a woman with a career. Like, I don't want to be called a. When I think of a digital nomad, I think of a sorority sister who's like prolonging her university, her college days by like doing cheap coke and like partying at hostels around the world, and she's just like an online assistant on the side to fund that. Like, that's what I think of. Or like someone with a startup. Like, everyone has a startup. At this point, and when someone's like, "Oh, I've got a startup," I'm like, "So everyone has a startup." Like, I'm a single mom. Like, that's a startup. Not to say that startups aren't important. They are, but it's not enough to impress me anymore. That's for sure. I like to say that I work remotely rather than, and I do like the idea of remote work rather than digital nomad. Um, I am totally 100% into the idea of taking money out of rich countries and spending it in countries with less money's economy. I'm all about that. I think that, you know, it is so effed up the way the world is set up monetarily. Like, obviously, the white conquering country history that was really, really awful. And we're living in a different time now, and there's no reason why Mexico can't have some of that money from the States and Canada, for instance, especially since they've been taken advantage of for a long time under, you know, these tariffs and stuff that we have, like these fair work tariffs where we like use this country as our cheap labor, right? And like, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, why can't Africa take back some of that money that's being sold in iPhones, right? So I am like all about making, like, I make Canadian dollars, American dollars, euros would be nice. I'd really like to make euros. So they have such a high value, but like, I am all about people taking that money and spending it outside. Um, I definitely don't need a man. That's true. But I love men. Like, I would love to have a cool one around. Like, I like them for sure. I have a lot of guy friends, and I've been lucky to have some really great lovers that have remained friends, you know, like um, I have been lucky to know a lot of really great men in my life. And something really great about living in Puerto is that we've met a lot more men here. That's great for Luna. You know, Luna's got some real like uncle figures here and some older like grandpa types around. And that's been great because for whatever reason in Guatemala, we were mostly surrounded by women. And I felt like her development wasn't, you know, like you need men. Like only a man is going to teach her how to be treated by a man. I can't teach her that. Only a man can teach her that lesson, and it's such an important lesson for her to learn. And so it's important that she has diverse, strong, respectable men around. Um, and I feel she does have that in her life. There could always be more. There could always be more good men. There definitely isn't a surplus. So there could always be more. But I do feel that the men that are good that I know, they do take a little extra time with her, and that's really sweet. Anyway, we kind of ran out of time on this live. I was like going to talk about our trip to Sayulita, but you know, maybe I'll make a video about it later. I'm planning on doing more lives here on YouTube because I was doing them on Instagram, but I've actually left social media. I'm not completely gone, but I just found that it was getting too too distracting in my life. As I mentioned in this video, I'm like a goldfish. It was getting too distracting, and I was finding myself like idling on it all the time. Like like let's say I was just like waiting for a bus, I would like go on Instagram. And now, since I haven't been on Instagram, I have so many more creative ideas. I feel like I listen more intently with my friends and family. I feel more present with my daughter. Um, anyway, I'm glad I'm off it. I'm not going to be off it forever. I think what I'm going to do is go in like once or twice a week and just like, because I do miss looking at my friends' pictures. I miss sort of having, you know, genuine interaction with people there. Um, but I think we're going to be doing the weekly lives here on YouTube instead. The big news around here is I am starting a podcast, but the way I'm going to start it is I actually opened a Patreon. The Patreon is only $3 a month to sign up. So it's $3 a month. It's not expensive, and you get unlimited content. And the Patreon is really a place where we're going to talk about more of these types of things like politics, parenting, being a mom, like what does it mean to be a 40-year-old single mom, like dating, like stuff, all the stuff that really is not for YouTube and is not for Travel Mama. Like Travel Mama is about me and Luna. That's like the real point. But more and more as we go along on this journey, people are asking me questions more about sort of my opinion on things. And what I'd like to do, I mean, the podcasts that I like are all sort of like, you know, the big ones like Joe Rogan and Russell Brand, and they're all men and they're all famous and they all have a lot of money and access. So I don't know if, I mean, I'm shooting for the stars here, but I'd like to do something really meaningful like that. And I think in order to do it, it's like you don't just like open a podcast and it's great, right? Like you have to work at things to make them good. Um, so I'm starting the Patreon. Is the idea is as a collaboration we're gonna get there. So you know I have some people I want to interview, and then the idea is that we're gonna do this Patreon together where people can give feedback and give me ideas and things they want to know, things that are kind of outside of the like, you know, YouTube is a bit of a PG platform, right? And that's fine. I'm not knocking it, but like I make a family channel here, and it has its, you know, boundaries. Um, Whereas, oh, someone's from Newfoundland. Right on. Hi, down homers. I heard you got some snow. Newfoundland's got like 8 feet of snow. Uh, anyway, yeah. So I want to do like I want to do a great podcast. I think that's the sort of issue is that I want to do something really great, and there's so many things I want to talk about. There's so many things I'm curious about. There's so many people I want to interview, and I think that it needs to take shape and it needs to take form, and that's what I opened the Patreon for. Is the idea is that we're going to start this conversation about, you know, tourism, for instance. Like, what about, conscious tourism? Like, is it even possible? About, new parenting, challenges that people face, not just like the same PR that's always being toted around. I also, I think a lot about, the difference between being an immigrant and being an expat. I consider myself an immigrant. I'm not an expat anymore. And, what that means. And people are moving all over the world and the struggles that people face. And, you know, uh, there's like what is put out to the public on the news, and then there's like what people are actually feeling, and I don't think they line up, and I'd like to talk more about that in all kinds of ways. And the point of the Patreon is to get your feedback so that we can together make something that's meaningful. From having this YouTube channel and the Instagram, so many people have been writing to me all kinds of stuff I want to talk about, oh God, political correctness. Yeah, I'm so lucky I live in Mexico and I don't have to deal with that. Yeah, or all kinds of things like, can we talk about race without it being racist? Can we be racial without being racist? Like, and can we do it together? Like, is it only reserved for these like super rich, famous guys? Can everyone talk about it? Can we start talking about more solution based stuff? Like, I don't want to just like, it's not a bitch fest. It's about like being more solution based. And also, I think like women, we are diversifying a lot, like we've been able to vote for like 100 years now. And I feel like this Madonna horror thing is still really going on for us. Like, either you're in the Western world and it's like, if you're not fuckable, you have no value. I've been going through that a lot lately. I'm like, I'm in my 40s now. Like, does anyone want to fuck me anymore? Like, well, if they don't, then I have value, and realizing that, like, even though I think of myself as someone that doesn't believe in that, it's still ingrained in me to think that, like, my value is based on how I look, no matter what it is. And then on this side, it's like your whole value is tied up in your children here. Like, it's the Madonna complex, like, if you don't have kids by a certain age, like, you have no value, right? And it's like, women, there's so much more going on with women than that. And when I say so much more, I mean like the power that we hold is so far beyond what men have. And that's not to make it competitive. I recently dated somebody, and it became apparent, like, the way that he was sort of treating my home and my family and my life and my schedule and my stuff was like still very, like, he was still very much the center, right? And I kind of had to sit him down and just say, like, listen, like, this home, this house, this family, my body, like, these places are like incredibly sacred centers of enormous power. And you can't come in here and just like piss in the corner. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, in order to come in here, like, you need to be someone who can hold up something like this. Like, I always say that female power is like the ocean. It's like, that's incredibly powerful. Like, I can't think of something more powerful than the ocean. Like, no matter how many fires there are, the ocean can just get rid of those. It can just drown us anytime. But it doesn't have a container. Like, the men or masculine energy is like the container, right? And I think that it does such a disservice to women and to men to just put us into Madonna and horror. Like, that's like a bucket of water, And does anyone really give a shit about a bucket of water when you could be talking about an ocean or experiencing an ocean? And I think of that all the time. I'm like, I wonder what it's like, for the average woman. Like, I know what I feel like. I wonder what other women feel like, knowing that encased inside them is the power of the ocean, and they're reduced to a bucket, like, over and over. you know it's funny, I watched this thing on Joe Rogan and Russell Brand, actually, because I love them, and they were talking about like dealing with masculine energy and whatever, and how contact sports are really good for that. And when they were talking about getting out aggression, like dealing with it in this positive way, I was thinking, God, like women need to do that. Like if anybody has been dealt a bad hand and like had to deal with stuffing down anger, it's women all over the world, you know? No buckets, never look back to the 30s. I'm happy being 40. You're live well. Thank you. Hi, Alaska. I'm just answering shit. Now I'm just looking at comments. Anyway, this was 30 minutes, so I'm just going to cut it here. But yes, there's a Patreon. It's $3 a month. The link is patreon.com/travelmamaannavon, and you can sign up there. And all this type of stuff is there. It's more like a conversation about, you know, the stuff they're not talking about on the news. You know, the stuff that's affecting us, what's really going on. And I think that as fans of the show, I've seen that there's a lot of people here that have, you know, that are looking for alternative travel, or alternative parenting, or alternative, you know, everything kind of, are really alternative. And when I say alternative, I don't just mean like hippie granola vegans, not that that doesn't count too, but you know, there's even this idea of what it means to be alternative, and I don't even think that is a very correct a correct description, you know? And I don't know, like as I get older and the world is more effed up, the more I'm like craving real community, real conversation, real connection, real intimacy, you know, in every way. Like one of my goals for 2020 is to bring more passion, more spontaneity, and more intimacy into my relationships. And that means my relationship with my child, my relationship to self, my relationship with my friends, obviously my sexual relationships, and my relationship to work. And already just by like flipping that a little bit, you know, and then it's like, you know, obviously this platform for YouTube is a very hard place to talk about having a more passionate relationship with your child. Like clearly I mean that in an innocuous way, but because there's been so many heinous acts done on this platform, it's like it's tricky to talk about these kind of things, which is why we have a Patreon, because that is a place to have these more open, fluid discussions about alternative parenting, adult discussions, is what maybe I should call it that. I'm actually looking to name this podcast. Maybe it can be adult discussions with Anna Vaughn or something. I like so far Naked Mama, but somebody else put out one recently that I really liked, and we're gonna do another poll soon to pull for it. So if you have a podcast name idea, send it into the Patreon. Like this is a fully co-created space. Adulting with Anna Vaughn. Yeah, adulting. I don't even know what that is really. I know that for me, I think adulting is taking responsibility for yourself. And I love doing it. I feel good when I take responsibility for myself and things. It feels good. I know it's not sexy to say that responsibility feels good, but man, the more integrity I have, the more dignity I live with, the more responsibility I take on. Oh man, it feels good. Feels really good. Like, you know, shoulders back, head high, you know, heart open. It feels really good. I have a 27-year-old cat. Oh, thanks. People are just giving me money. This is so cool. Anna being an adult. Let's talk. I love it. See, you guys need to send me more stuff because you guys have all the ideas. I'm just a conduit. Real Talk with Anna Vaughn has been one that we've talked about. I like Naked Mama. I'd like to put the word mama in, but you know, mom is such a loaded word. It's like as soon as you say that, it's like you're not a woman anymore because you're a mom. It's like you can't be a mom and be sexy. You can't be a mom and be smart. You can't be a mom, you know, like. And then also at the same time, like all moms have this weird pressure to be sexy all the time. I don't know. It's like the whole thing is super weird to me. To the Moon and Back with Anna Vaughn. I love that. Yeah, you see, naked is a bit edgy, right? But then I was thinking, are men gonna want to be on the show? Like, would a man want to be interviewed for Naked Mama, or would he feel like he's walking into like, you know, like a pink triangle space? You know? my really good friend who is LGBT said to me that I should call it Mama Bear. And I was like, that's such a Butch Les name, Mama Bear. I was like, no, that's too far for me. Um, okay, cool. Well, I don't want to say bye really. I want to hang out and talk, but it is 35 minutes now, so I gotta say bye. But thank you so much for donations. That was super cool. And I'm going to be doing these weekly, these lives weekly, and there'll be even more on Patreon. So I hope to see you guys there. There's some content already up that's exclusive to Patreon and more to come. Okay, how do I turn it off? Bye, guys.